Hello and welcome to another episode of the Undebatables. I'm Jamil.
I'm Ashlyn.
And today's guest is...
Steph Deprez. Hello.
Tell us about yourself.
I am an opera singer by training, and I fell into comedy while I was getting my master's in opera, and so now I am a stand-up comedian and opera singer.
That is quite the combination of skills, really.
It's not something that you see that often, going
really
from
isn't.
opera to stand-up.
Yeah, no, I have noticed.
How does that happen? Like, I'm genuinely taking time.
Well, mostly I just wanted to have a really great opener on internet dates, and it has really come through for me.
The Bumble questions are just
I can.
What's your motivation to do opera? Bumble.
Yes, I just want to have a really great Bumble profile. No, I taught high school music. I was a choir director for 4 years, and then I moved to Los Angeles. My undergrad degree was in film production and music. So I taught high school music, moved to LA, spent a year trying to work in film and television in any way. It was like, I'll be an actor, I'll be a comedian, I'll be a writer, I'll work in development, and I will be, or I'll be a singer primarily. And I worked on, I tried all five, ended up being a tour guide at Universal Studios, started taking a ton of comedy, like classes, Groundlings, Upright Citizens Brigade, started doing open mics in North Hollywood with other tour guides from Universal. And in that, I was taking voice lessons again, and I was like, this is great. There's so many comedians in Los Angeles. There's like 10,000 people and like 15 open mics a night. You have to pay money to do open mics. I'll be the one that sings opera. It'll make me different from every other blonde bitch in the city. It'll be amazing.
That do be the vibe. Yeah. It's like, if you're a lady in general, I feel like you're just a dime a dozen up there. Even then, like, you have a symmetrical looking face. Like, all right, but like, how much dick you willing to suck, though, is the question.
Yeah, fair.
Can you tell we're both from California? This is the cynicism is real.
But there's just so many people.
And me sitting in the corner there. Yes, I know.
He knows the California.
Do you remember that? Do you remember like having
course.
like Make It in LA as a young woman?
Cali beaches and all that kids.
Oh my God, living in North Hollywood in Bel Air. Oh my God.
And the commute is horrible.
It is. Well done. You could pass.
I rewatched Clueless yesterday, so all of the references are fresh in my mind.
I love that.
Well, seriously, thank you for being on our podcast.
I'm very excited. I'm very honored to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
And for those who've joined us for the first time, this is what our podcast do. We pick subjects that make absolute no sense, question no one have ever asked, and we get to comedians to debate it. Today's subject is: the more an instrument have strings, the more pretentious is the player.
Yeah.
So which side each one gonna be arguing? It's based on a flip of a coin. So you, Steph, you're our guest. You wanna argue for or against?
I would like to argue that is true.
All right, and you're gonna choose head or tail?
Tails.
Alrighty.
If it's tail, you argue for it, and you're gonna have the opening statement.
Alrighty. This happens every single time. Wait. Are we saying it counts? If it lands the way it does?
Yes, it counts.
You are arguing for it, then it is in fact tails.
All right.
So it is. So we have 30 minutes and starts now.
So I am arguing that the more strings an instrument has, the more pretentious the player is.
Yes.
Well, have you met a pianist? Those pretty princesses can't even be bothered to carry their instrument around with them. They expect it to just be at the venue already. All 230 strings already there. And they can't even tune it by themselves. You got a violinist, they're tuning it by themselves. No, a pianist goes, no, I must hire outside help in order to tune this bitch. Talk about pampered and pretentious. And also, that's the one that everybody wants to play. What if 5-year-olds play? 5-year-olds do not start by playing the viola.
True. That do be true. Counter argument to that. Have you ever met a girl who has a Tumblr account? Have you ever met a girl with a ukulele? Have you ever met any bass player? They gotta make up for it somehow, those guys. And how they do it is just by being the worst people imaginable. And I feel like they kind of have to be, because there is like it is such an unpopular instrument. At least basses are. Ukuleles have gotten more popular now. It's sort of the genre's been saturated by many a Tumblr girl who later grew up to be a TikTok user.
Yeah. So what was the meme? It's like they like Tumblr crawled so that TikTok could walk, or like Tumblr walked so TikTok could run.
That it is exactly what it is. That's basically this is not really our target demographic here, but it is true for like the mostly millennial audience that watches this show. But I'm just saying, like, piano players, I feel like you can get away with it because there's more of them, right? Like more people want to do it, so you have more room for like some people to be pretentious and some people to just, you know.
Yeah, you kind of have to be a jerk to make it as a pianist because, you know, everybody's been playing this instrument since they were 5.
My stepdad's a pianist, so I can speak to that. That's not a joke either.
Yeah. Is it maybe because they're so pretentious, don't let anyone to join in?
This is true. It's a primarily solo instrument.
That's true.
They don't even have a section in an orchestra. It's just there's the piano. Like
that's true, but also pianists are required to accompany most artists.
This
right?
is true. They are the little bitch for any soprano. Yes.
It is the worst. I mean, I can't speak from experience as we are both singers. She is much more qualified than I am, of course, but
it's completely relative. I'm perhaps a little more pretentious about it. Yeah.
Well, you have more reason to be pretentious about it than I do. I just get to go, I know certain jazz, I know who Tony Bennett is, therefore am jazz singer. That's it. They have very low standards for young people who want to play jazz. This is the hot take we're leaving this episode with. But yes, I have heard many a story about you got to be a little bitch for everyone that comes up.
Yes, this is true. Everybody's looking for a pianist because everybody needs someone to accompany them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's called like collaborative piano, in which case you can't be super pretentious because the person who's the boss is the singer. So that's true. That is a good point.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how else we define pretentious, because the first thing that comes to mind, I mean, again, is like like indie girls on TikTok who say like, now I know. Does no one else know this? Or am I?
Wait,
I'm all by myself. Have you seen like indie girl voice? Have you seen like the...
No, but I can conjure it in my mind.
It's like, think like Halsey or like that girl like Grace Vanderwall.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about? Like, yes, that sort of...
Welcome to my kitchen. We have bananas and avocado.
That sort of raspy kind of... I don't know how else to explain it. I'm just going to splice it in here so you know what we're talking about.
Great.
Please.
Yes.
Because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you don't get any of my references anyway, so...
I know.
Would you put Olivia Rodrigo in that area?
I've not listened to enough Olivia Rodrigo. I don't think so because... I don't know. I think there's too much production behind it.
Fair.
But also Halsey has a lot of production.
Yeah, but that like in the beginning,
scholars remain divided on whether or not Olivia Rodrigo is an indie girl, is a cursive singer. Let's say she sings every word. That could also be like, see, singers don't have any strings, and we're the most pretentious people.
Well, I mean, I guess you could say the vocal cords are the 2. So in that case, that would also be a point for you, like the fewer strings they have.
Yeah, they're pretty pretentious.
By far.
But let's say if you sing and play the guitar, that make it 8 chords.
Yeah, I guess
that's technically true. So. Okay, but then, that's a good point, actually, because then there's people like John Mayer who, like, white dudes with guitars are even worse than...
In high school, I had a friend who was like, if any guy ever plays Crush by Dave Matthews Band, he was like, if anybody ever plays that for you, I don't care what they think they're promising you, get out. They're like, get out right now. He wants one thing.
There was a guy at my high school. There was a guitar guy at my high school too. I don't know if this is a thing that other high schools have.
No, it's Crash, not Crush. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Okay. How dare you?
I'm a bad middle millennial. I forgot a Dave Matthews song.
But instead of playing like a normal song, which I imagine, I don't know this song, but I imagine it's a normal song in comparison to the Sherlock theme. He would
ding 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 ding. That one.
No, he would like. I swear to God, like my freshman year of high school, this kid like followed me around with a fucking guitar.
That's
like
serial killer vibe.
Oh, because you were a Tumblr girl.
I was.
And he thought you would be into that. That would be my diagnosis.
He was waiting for you to start breaking dance in a musical or something.
That actually, what an interesting vibe. It's like if someone followed me around, like playing like a television theme song on a guitar.
It's
I'd be
just
like,
a boring mariachi band is what that is. Like,
it's also, but it's interesting. Like you could like main character your way through life, and not be like, I
yes.
literally like.
So
this
your
is my
high
theme
school had a
music.
theme song.
no, I had a theme song.
And you didn't even choose it. It was thrust upon
I
you.
didn't choose it. The only people, no, it was to the point where the only people who brought guitars into school were like choir kids who were doing singing Valentines, which is basically you put together a song, and in choir you get to go around all over the school and play a song that someone has sent you.
Which is a great excuse to not be in class.
It literally is, and the school gets to make money off of it. So.
Yeah. As a former high school teacher, there's one conceit behind that: making money by children paying not to be in class.
Labor. Anyway.
Finally bringing child labor to the US.
Yes. This is Trump's America.
A skinny telegram.
No, but yeah, no. There was basically dudes who would do that because it was usually dudes who could play guitar in my high school, and then me who wanted extra credit in my German class, who would learn how to play a song in German and sing it in German, and then be like, "Ha, you're pulling a real insert guy's name here today, aren't you?" I'm just trying to like pull my C up to to at least a B plus. Like,
That's also pretty pretentious to like learn like I know a song in a foreign language on an instrument that's primarily played by dudes. That's pretty pretentious.
That is very true. You got me there. I feel attacked.
I want to go back to this bass thing because the
yes.
bass has 4 strings and then the guitar has 5 strings, and I think that bass players are historically far more chill than guitar players.
Remind me, was Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy, was he a bass player?
I don't know.
Okay.
Everyone else in my life took care of that information for me. Instead, I focused on the Lord of the Rings soundtracks while everybody else did like the Pete Wentz area.
I'm gonna
you had to divide the knowledge in the friend group.
Don't tell white dudes with guitar that might be your theme song later on. Lord of the Rings.
Yes. I would.
Imagining
Oh
Steph
my
going
god!
in
Do
Berlin
you know how many
and the guy with the guitar following you?
Yes, I would pay money for that. I would straight up pay. In high school, I would literally go dun dun da 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 da, and like my friends and I would run down the hallway, and like girls in my class just knew like, oh, we have to get out of the way. Like Steph and Margie and Caitlin are running down the hallway right now because we're hearing the Lord of the Rings theme song, and then they would just
you hear the theme song coming from the hallway. Steph is coming.
Yes. Steffi's coming. Yes.
I like the implication that it's like all this full orchestra, and then it's just a bunch of kids wearing
it's
like
just me and my 2 friends. Like we also made a paper mache
like
golem,
skinny jeans and like like a Juicy Couture tracksuit or something.
Oh
what
my
did people wear in the 2000s?
Yeah, we tried. Well, I had a uniform, but like we would do everything we could. We actually, our claim to fame was the double polo popped collar.
Oh my!
You would wear 2 polos so that you would have one color down, and then you would pop the one underneath. So you'd have 2 different colors on your polo, and when you would pop it.
That is the weirdest flex I have ever heard of.
Yeah.
And my high school.
Does that count as a flex?
Let me tell you, we were pretty cool. Circa like 2006, we were pretty cool.
Even like I went to a public high school and everything. They didn't have uniforms, but they did require. I went to high school in the South, so it wasn't like California is generally pretty chill with dress codes. At least from when I was a kid, it was. But in Tennessee, they made you like wear only collared shirts, and if you didn't have a collared shirt, then you would like lose parking privileges and stuff like that. It was insane.
Wow. Did you like ever go out of your way to like push that and see how far what counted as a collar?
Oh yeah, no, literally one day they were pulling like a proper like Ausweiskontrolle and checking everyone at the door for our international audience. It's like people checking for like your tickets on the train. No, they were literally standing in front of every single individual door and being like, okay, you're good. Nope, you're going straight. You're getting written up. You're going to ISS. You're going to in-school suspension.
I'm imagining a guy with a meter. That does not qualify as a collar. Go back.
I got away with it on a technicality because I had one of those shirts that sort of looked like a turtleneck, but it was sort of flowy. I don't understand how that. It's bullshit. It's collared shirts are a social construct. This is the hot take. We're leaving this video.
Yeah,
with.
well, and it's also created for like the idea that like, oh, this is in order to participate in society, you must like reach this bar, the arbitrary fashion bar that we've set up, and that is wearing a collar.
Mm-hmm. And it's just in America. Like this isn't a thing anywhere else.
I'm pretty sure others they have it also.
Yeah, like collar shirt specifically.
No, collar shirt no.
That's what I'm. That's what we're.
What was your? Did you have a uniform growing up?
We need to have like like the lab coat, but for guys it was blue, and for the girls was pink.
You mean like a blazer?
That's very on the nose with that coloring.
Yeah. So like is in primary school doesn't matter, like you wear whatever you want under it, but you need to wear that. In middle school, guys don't need to wear it, but girls have to wear it, but they choose the color.
Wait, I was gonna say, like, did they actually make you guys wear pink and blue to like designate the gender?
Actually, I'm not sure if it was mandatory, but that's how everyone was wearing.
So it's like it could have been a socially created rule.
That sounds like someone who was really into like gender reveal parties decided to run a school.
Yeah, because in the middle school, like some girls keep on wearing pink, some girls wearing blue, and others just wear black.
Okay.
Wow. What did it mean when a girl chose to like wear a black blazer in middle school?
She's different.
She was a Tumblr girl. That's what
she's about to start pulling out her ukulele and singing the 4 chords of Riptide that she knows.
We can develop the high school clothing in another episode.
Oh, that's right.
Let's go back
and strings.
We're just working through like our high school trauma together.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, considering the most time I spent doing music was probably in high school, at least that's my excuse.
Okay, what about we define pretentiousness by the least bearable people in parties?
When you say least bearable people in parties,
we know always someone in a party and a guy pulls out of nowhere a guitar and he starts playing.
Yeah, I'd rather have a guitar than someone being like, let's play Halo though. Like that's
true.
Like if someone pulls out a guitar, I think, oh my God, thank God we avoided like the video games.
Yeah.
That someone pulls in the middle of party a video game?
Well, that was my high school experience.
If they're gonna pull a video game, why not pull like Mario Kart or something that other people can play?
Right?
Yes. Or like, I don't know, Wii Sports. Something that doesn't make sense. I don't. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry you went to these parties.
Yeah, thanks. No worries. Me too. I was also like, I never did anything in high school. It was very boring.
Yeah.
But yes. So someone pulls out a guitar at a party. What is your reaction?
I feel like, well, if it's not me, because I hate this. It's even worse when people ask you to do it. They're like, oh, you should bring your like guitar. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm like, this thing is like 50 pounds. I really don't want to carry it. But I'm not joking. This has happened multiple times where if you play an instrument, they're like, oh, you should come do this instead. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, you know?
Yeah, because it has to be about you. Like when you introduce it, you're like, I'm going to take all the air in the room for about 30 seconds.
Exactly.
But if you have like back pocket songs that everybody knows the words to, then you can just like, pull it. Oh.
Or I'm Yours by Jason Mraz or something. As much as, I hate that song, but it's mostly because of overplay.
Based on pretentiousness, how many people pulls out a violin, for example? Yes. Violin is all in 4 chords.
I would, or 4 strings.
4 strings.
Yeah, violin. I feel like I would be surprised if someone pulled it out at a party, but I don't know if I would hate them immediately.
Well, if someone pulls out a violin at a party, it's a fiddle.
That's a fucking good point. I didn't even think about that.
Fuck. We're not playing Bruckner.
It suddenly becomes like an Irish pub in like the 1600s.
We're going for a different vibe. Yeah.
Okay, maybe not violin. What about like, I don't know, a harp or something?
Once again, I'd be like, I casually brought my 300-pound harp to this party.
Mind me.
We're gonna play another banger.
Sorry, they didn't really fit in the elevator.
No. Your crush is invited to the party. Act casual. Bring the harp.
We're like, what do I do? How do I show up at this party? Just bring the harp. Just bring it. Just shove it in the back. Where are they? They're still dragging it up the stairs.
It's like a conversation starter. That's for sure.
I love this. I want that SNL skit where it's like, hey, nice to meet you. It's me. I just like brought this harp. It's like 300 pounds. It's just like, and like trying to move it around like the solo cups, like, and like trying to get it, you know, in these like the tiny little outbow like apartment.
Yeah, especially the ones without elevators. You're just like
Like in a shoebox apartment, like all people
In,
but
like,
the
my
harp is
apartment.
taking so much space.
And like and exclusively playing like the dirtiest like pop songs.
Imagine playing Shots by Lil Jon and LMFAO.
You know what? I probably could play that on the harp. You know why? Because it's one string. Bing, 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 bing. And then you just yell everybody. I'm gonna bring a harp to my next show. I'll be like, I'm gonna play
Everybody and yeah. I saw a remix of Rasputin and Shots. Like was a mashup of those two songs, and it works so well. So on the topic of shots and violins, go on.
The most pretentious is the one with no strings, aka the producer.
Ooh,
DJs.
Oh, that's some tea.
DJs are the most pretentious.
That is
musicians.
some scalding tea.
You're arguing against that.
Oh, damn it.
No, that has ever happened in this podcast.
Wait,
right? Yes.
wait. Now I have I'm trying to argue the other side.
No. Oh, no.
Should give you the golden axe.
If you think about it, any producer is working with a musician.
Right. So do they have all the strings, or are we going to count each like
conductors? Conductors
Yeah.
are the most
Oh
pretentious.
my goodness gracious.
Because he's pulling all the strings.
Yes.
I hate that you just said that, but it fits so
That's a good
well.
pun.
This is some Paul Jacobs ass shit. Like don't make me start ranking your puns. This is not acceptable. That's how I keep Paul Jacobs in check now. I'm just like that's like a solid 6 out of 10. You can do better than this, man.
Staple of the comedy scene.
Yes,
Paul
we love
Jacobs,
him.
the Austrian comedian, and his
the
English language
Austrian
puns. Yes.
Actually, we went to Prague and they know the pun guy.
Oh yeah, they know the pun guy and
love
the
that.
guy who reads jokes off of a piece of paper still, and I'm not gonna say who it is.
I don't know who that is.
You
We're
will
gonna tell you
remember
that
after
in the
this.
Patreon
Okay.
episode.
in the Patreon exclusive. Patreon, if you want to come support us, if you want to see some scalding tea from a city you don't live in,
hot goss.
some hot goss. Oh my God,
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Okay, back to the conductor.
Back to the conductor.
and the
Okay, so I would say,
DJs.
so
Actually, a question: who do you think is more pretentious, producers or conductors?
oh my goodness gracious. Man, it's the race is neck and neck in my head.
I feel same. Like I don't even know.
But the thing is, I've never been to a party where it's like, yeah, I'm a conductor.
Oh, you haven't? Jamil. Jamil. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to come to the parties of the...
You're
the
dealing with a
singers.
high school teacher,
Yeah.
former high school teacher. They got like.
Do they put it out of nowhere like, hey, actually, I'm a conductor?
Yeah. Yes, they'll be like, well, I'm a musician. I'll be like, what do you play? And they'll be like, I play. And then they have the instrument that they trained on, which is usually a violin or piano. And then they'll be like, and, I conduct.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. Here we go. Here's the next 15 minutes of my life.
That's like there's got to be some kind of hierarchy between like the conductors who like just do it for high school and like people who do it like professionally. Like there's got to be some kind
Oh
of
yeah, I
beef.
mean, if you're conducting high school, that means you wanted to be a Broadway star, and then you realize that you actually like have a good heart and want to have a family, and don't just want to be grinding your whole life.
you want to be you want to start dressing in full Christian Girl autumn at all times.
I love it, man. I rocked Christian Girl autumn. Do you know how many long dresses I had when I taught high school theater and drama and music? So, but like there, like if you're a high school conductor of like a band or anything, you are someone who did not want to spend your life being a dick and actually wanted to like fall in love and raise a family. And then if you are a conductor who works with an orchestra, you're like, oh no, fuck it, it's about me. It's all about me. I'm gonna do it.
One of them is like one spark and they could become a Karen, and the other ones just are Karens of a completely
Karen.
different sort is what I'm getting.
very expensive.
Very
Karen.
expensive Karen. This
Yes.
ain't no
An
like
expensive
Walmart Karen. This
Yeah.
isn't like Walmart cursing out employees who have masks on that say Black Lives Matter. This is like you are getting kicked out of NYC clubs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine this is the drama.
But the irony of the conductor is that like they're not actually in charge, because the minute the conductor like shows that they don't actually know what they're conducting, then the orchestra just sort of sits there and rolls their eyes and is like, all right, now I gotta deal with this bitch. And then like And then it's like, it's on.
That's like, now I'm sort of starting to feel like sympathy for the conductor, because it's like, fuck, like you can't show any weakness.
Yeah, well, players gotta play.
That's
true.
Like,
you got, don't show up. Yeah, don't, oh no, what's the line? Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what I meant to say.
You don't want to get your pants pulled down by your 17-year-old students. You better fucking keep them in shape. I mean, sorry, what were you going to say?
Nothing. I'm enjoying the conversation.
This has been like 20% music and like 80% high school trauma.
Yeah, I liked high school so much I did it twice. I have spent 8 years in high school. 4 as a student and 4 as an educator.
Oh my god. I am so sorry.
The next 8 years you're gonna be a principal.
It was great though. I don't know. I liked it. I dug it.
That's got to be really nice, because like I did not have teachers. I had teachers who were very talented at what they did, but they had hella like inferior or superiority complexes, rather. Like you could tell that they really wanted something more, and they sort of, a lot of them took it out on their students, and I really didn't like that.
Again, high school trauma. That's gonna be another episode.
Will it be though? I mean,
I think our debate should be like, did my trauma come from high school? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That should be what we're doing.
Was it from high school, or did my own decisions bring me here?
Of course, you blame it on someone else. Either high school or parents.
It's the American way.
Or pretentious
both.
people playing instruments. See how I
Yes,
brought this back here?
Yeah. So what is the most stringed instrument? So we got the piano. It's got around 230.
We should have.
How much is
that
a
one
harp?
is so pretentious. They want to cover the strings.
This is true. You don't even see the strings. You don't even know they're there.
Technically, it's a hammered instrument. Is
true.
What is not my argument. Someone else pointed this out to me before on my way here. But in terms of the strings, I don't know anymore. I feel like that's got to be like a state of mind, you know?
Yeah.
The thing is, with guitars, when people usually play guitar, it's like, yeah, I play guitar, they follow up which kind of style, blah, blah. But if you go up to a party, say like, you should say like, I play the harp.
That's
people are not like,
and you leave it hovering in the air, like, like, I'm the harp guy.
You're the harp guy.
No. You are the harp woman.
Yeah.
That is
true.
That's
how
true.
harps
I've never seen a male
I know.
harp
I don't
player.
know. I don't know if I know a male harpist, which is kind of, it's sad. If I have a friend who's a male harpist, please reveal yourself.
Men, if you're looking, no more white dudes with guitars. We're only doing white dudes with harps now.
The age of the male harpist is here.
Harp girl summer or harp boy summer.
Oh my god. There's a pun in there somewhere. There's a really juicy pun in there somewhere. Where's Paul? Yeah.
I am a traitor to my people. Harp boy summer is no longer. This is harp boy autumn now.
Yeah, hot girl summer, harp boy autumn.
What's the instrument of heaven?
And
Angels always have a harp.
Yeah, they do, but they have like a little kind of like glockenspiel looking thing.
No. You know what I think it is? Laser harps.
Harps.
Have y'all ever seen? Oh my god! So not everyone knows about this, but like there are like among those, if you ever fall down those rabbit holes of like weird instruments that exist, there's one where it's literally just like LED lights and everything, and you just move your hand over it.
Oh, that's a theremin.
No. They have like lights and everything shooting out of it.
What?
Yeah, like I'm gonna slice
that's
this
a
in.
version of a theremin.
It's something like that, but they call it I don't know. They called it a laser harp, and I'm calling it a laser harp because there are lasers and there are things that look like strings. And the one version I saw of it, they did a really good cover of "We Will Rock You" by Queen, and I will be splicing this bit in. I'm sorry, I never get the chance to talk about laser harps. Now is the only opportunity.
Now is the time.
The only reason we made this episode is to talk about laser harps.
This video is sponsored by Laser Harps.
We are here for the laser harp content. We are here. Welcome. We've got you covered.
Harp boy summer indeed. Anyway,
no, it would be ding, 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 ding. That's like the band, the gang sign. That's like playing the harp.
That's true. That's like Morse code almost. If you think about it,
you could do Morse code with a harp.
You could.
Yeah.
Oh wow, where do we go from here?
Actually, to be fair, harp players are usually also pretty princesses. So like that would put them in my category, as in they have a lot of strings and they're pretty pretentious. Once again, like the piano, so pretentious that they're like, I expect my instrument to be here when I show up. And like maybe they tune it on their own a little bit, but it's like people are like, well, if I bring my harp, we have to like get like a truck because you know it's just so big and expensive and fancy.
Yeah. I could also see something like, I'm struggling to come up with instruments that aren't harps at this rate, that aren't harps or pianos or ukuleles.
Well, and the problem is like you've got like the violin and the cello, like they're all in the same category because they all got 4.
Yeah.
Like we're not.
But I feel like if we're gonna rank the like cello, like I don't want to say the stringed instruments. We've been talking about stringed instruments this whole time. Like the violin, viola, cello thing. I feel like viola is the most pretentious just because it refuses
the dark chocolate.
They're the bisexuals of instruments. I'm speaking for myself here.
Fair, because they're like, well, I could go both ways.
Yeah, I could go both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, we are running out
of
time.
Okay.
Closing statements.
All right, you should.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
All right, I'm firmly believing that the more strings something has, the more pretentious it's going to be because we've got the harp and we've got the piano, and also if we're going to go length of string, the double bass, obviously the most pretentious in the string section. The massive, it's like standing 7 feet tall. You got to be tall in order to even play it, or you got to sit on a stool. Extreme pretension in order to attempt. So I'm going to say based on number and based on length and size of string, the more strings, the more pretentious.
This is where I'm gonna have to strongly disagree. The existence
you should have this in the beginning of the episode, not the end.
Are you gonna let me talk, man?
No.
This is I'm being mansplained on my own podcast.
Hashtag 2021.
I just think that the whole existence of Tumblr has proven time and time again that less strings can be just as pretentious as more strings. And you know what? Even worse, because ukuleles are a lot easier to carry than harps are.
Yeah, people will legitimately be like, I just casually have my ukulele right here.
Yeah.
But a lot of people say, that's a baby guitar.
Yeah, and
no one respects you on that.
But I also hate when people say that because it's not at all like a guitar. It doesn't even have the same amount of strings. It's just it's a baby bass, really.
Okay, well here's the real question: which one do you play?
I play both of them, so I'm biased. I used to be a Tumblr ukulele girl, but you know what? I had the ability to sing too. I have a ukulele anymore, so okay, fair. I have a guitar.
She's more pretentious. She upgraded to the 6 now.
Yes, I've upgraded to like a real guitar because I'm an adult and I want to be taken seriously.
All right.
What adult person plays ukulele anyway? That's it. That's the rest. Bye.
Thank you for the argument. That was a really interesting episode. We have a lot of childhood trauma that you want to talk about.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Besides childhood trauma, anything that
beside childhood trauma. So my Facebook page is Steph Deprez Comedy. Please give that a like. You can follow me on Instagram at Steph.Deprez. It looks like Deprez. Deprez, Deprez. That's my Instagram, and anything that I'm doing for shows, for opera or comedy, gets posted on Steph Deprez Comedy on Facebook, and then my Instagram.
Yeah, we will be linking all of the socials in the description.
Danke sehr.
Yeah.
And as usual, like, follow, subscribe, put in comment, let us know which one do you think win. More strings, more pretentious, or less strings, more pretentious.
Ukulele girls unite.
Yeah.
This is
ukulele girls. Show us who you are. Thank you for watching and see ya.
Thank you guys. Thank you.